The numbers in our housing market are ever changing, so it is important to stay up to date in this current real estate market. I want to personally invite you to Market Insights, where we'll bring you stats, facts, and figures to keep you and your clients informed. Join us now.
Hi, good morning. Scott Kiburz with Market Insights for Landmark Title, November of 2023. As we launch into the first few days of November, change is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Big change with the class action lawsuit in Missouri, where the verdict settled for the plaintiffs and have awarded them an initial $1.8 billion in settlement. I'm sure that this case is going to get appealed right away, but within 1 hour of that verdict, the lead attorney went ahead and not only had the top 4 real estate companies in their lawsuit with Keller Williams and Anywhere and Remax. Within the first hour of the verdict, he went ahead and filed against 7 other major brokerages like Redfin and others, Compass. And so this is big change in our industry, ladies and gentlemen, big change. And this is the first of 3 class action lawsuits in play. What else has happened in that 48 hours is the previous CEO of NAR, someone named Bob Goldberg, who was scheduled to retire December of 2024, has already been replaced by Nakia Wright as of this morning. This is today, Thursday. And Nakia comes from the Chicago Sun-Times as a CEO there out of Chicago. And I'm sure she'll be formally introduced a week from Saturday at the NAR Next conference in Anaheim. So, ladies and gentlemen, right out of the gate, we've got big change happening. Let's go to the first key slide and see what it's doing to our real estate market as of last month. Here's our headlines. We've already talked about that. Next, Sarah. As we slide into market stats. Now, we normally look at fast facts, and we're trending in our calendar year. September, October, if we're going to see an uptick in the latter part of the year, we're normally seeing it right now. And for the first couple of weeks in November, activity traditionally slows just a little bit during Thanksgiving and into Christmas. But that doesn't mean that the people aren't out there being purposeful, wanting to buy and sell. That's still happening. As we go through fast facts real quickly, our active inventory continues to climb. 11,187. That's just in Maricopa County. Single family homes has climbed to 8,711. Townhomes 815. Condos not quite as fast at 639. Manufactured homes have climbed just due to prices of homes in general. Normally we see about 220 manufactured homes. We currently have 527 active manufactured homes in our Maricopa County MLS. Our closed units are down at 4,104. Absorption rate went from the 44% down to the 33% since September into October. Coming soon at 540 has been fairly consistent. Interest rates, Sarah and I were just talking, that have been softened just a little bit from their peak, but the range clearly with a 2-1 buy down is usually in the 6s. And we've been hovering high 7, low 8 for quite a while. Our average sale price did tick up to $577,261. That was a pretty steep climb in a month's period of time. But also, please know that our number of closed units is 50% of what we could normally do in terms of capacity. Next slide, please. This particular report, ladies and gentlemen, on the outcome of the settlement of this trial, the Sitzer-Burnett case in Missouri. $1.8 billion was a headline yesterday, midday. That's been in the play for probably 4+ years. And there's obviously going to be an appeal. We're still 2 to 3, 4 years out. But there's going to be some changes recommended by NAR and your broker and from Scott Drucker and AAR that'll be coming as to what do we need to do in order to mitigate any kind of legal opportunity moving forward. Please know that from the MLS side of things too, there'll be a lot of talk about compensation, what's going to be advertised in the MLS Plano in terms of shared compensation to the buyer broker. And please know that the board made an announcement last Monday that they're going to allow $0 to be an input into the commissions for the buy side. Not that that'll happen, but that is now an official option. Next, in a normal monthly update, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that Zillow acquired Follow Up Boss would be newsworthy. There's so much publication about this class action lawsuit. It's going to dominate the news going into the fourth quarter for sure. But quietly, Zillow picked up Follow Up Boss just this week. Next. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've used this slide many times talking about the economy, technology, government, societal shifts, talking about how they impact our real estate world. The economy, technology, and government come into play with these class action lawsuits. If they were already at a 9 to 10, they're at 11 moving forward with these class action lawsuits. There's going to be significant change in our business moving forward. So please get ready. Next. In terms of buyers and sellers, in the four possible modes that people can be in, even keel is a predominant phase or predominant mode that people can be in. Just due to high interest rates, people are cautious. The people that have a home and want to sell don't have a home to move into where they can pay an affordable interest rate. So they make a decision to just stay where they are, which puts less inventory into our market. And with the higher interest rates, fewer and fewer people can afford that. So our market feels a little bit in even keel. If we can get some more behind us, get these class action lawsuits behind us, get interest rates headed to the 6 to the mid 5 range, our market will be wide open yet again. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't showed this slide for quite a while in terms of what we call no man's land. It's a very primitive slide that was designed. But if you take these 3 arrows and put 3 homes in a zip code that compete with one another, 3 that are in the market, 3 in no man's land, and 3 in out of the market, I wanted to bring this back into a conversation where you can be highly relational between the listing agent and the seller. That with the higher interest rates, people are buying value. And so if your home is in that, I'm going to make this scenario up. If your home is in that 500 to 520 range and it is move-in ready, clean, has a pool, everything's working, chances are if that's the market at 520, it's going to get sold or go under contract almost right away. If you're in no man's land, if the home's priced between 525 and 550 and the home isn't move-in ready and it doesn't have a pool or whatever the circumstance, those next 3 homes between 525 and 540 just kind of sit there and like, I get activity, but nobody's coming forward with an offer. We call that no man's land. And then for those homes that are priced 540 to 600, they may be move-in ready, but they're at the top of the market or above the market. They all of a sudden become out of the market. Now, one more thing here, ladies and gentlemen, that's newsworthy is there's still homes coming to market every month. And so if some of those homes are coming to your zip code where you're a listing seller and they see the market of the moment and they see what's selling, they're looking at comps, they're going to price that home in the market so it sells right away, even though it's only been on the market a few days. There was a time when the people in no man's land said, well, when those 3 homes sell, my home will be the least expensive home in that neighborhood. Well, they forget about the fact that new homes are coming in all the time, and those prominent, skillful listing agents are going to price a home in the market back at the 520 or below range, and that house is going to fly off the shelf. And the people in no man's land and out of the market will continue to just sit. So be aware of that strategy. That's a real conversation to have with your seller in a market like this. Next. So from some numbers here, ladies and gentlemen, again, our total actives in all of ARMLS have climbed. What I want to get to is 3/4 of the way down on the page on pending. Pending units are just barely above 3,000, down another 200 doors from where we were last month. The total solds were at 5163, down another 400 from last month. The total sold in Maricopa County, down a couple hundred, and total single family sold down just like 100 or so. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is pressure on our market. A lot of unknowns, war, interest rates, all those influences that we talk about all the time are in play. But believe you me, if interest rates were different, there is huge pent-up demand for our housing market, and people would like to buy homes in Arizona. Next. So I always try to give texture with this. When our inventory about 2 years ago hit its all-time low of just below 4,000 units in all of our Maricopa County metro, we had with 153 zip codes in Maricopa County, we averaged 26 listings per zip code, which was really like an all-time low in Maricopa County. This month, with 11,187 in the 153 zip codes, we're averaging right now 73 doors per zip code. That's single family, townhome, condo, manufactured home, anything for sale, averages 73 doors per zip code. Next. Okay, so as we look at actives and pricing here, wanted to point out we did tip and go over the 11,000 mark in active listings, and our solds dipped down to 3,723. If you follow the blue and the red line bottom left of the median and average sell to list price, we're seeing a pretty consistent trend, and it's just trended down right at just above 98%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our prices of our home are illustrated in the bottom right with the blue and the red vertical bars. And we've been holding fairly steady for the last 4 or 5 months with just a slight increase in terms of cost per square foot. Are we still doing quite a few seller contributions? We are, if there's room for the seller. But we also have a lot of cash buyers out there who are able to buy the home with cash. That's hovering around 39, 40%. I just want to give texture. Our market has slowed. We have low transactions, low demand, but we also have that high interest rates, and that's just causing a pause or a frustration in our market. Next, please. Okay, what I want to point out here is what we talk about, Sarah and I, in our conversations. Our months of supply just below 3 months, 2.99 months, and our absorption rate went from 44% down to 33%. And the absorption rate is illustrated by the red bars. And as you move to the far right of this for the month of October, you see that the month of supply running about 2.99 months. The absorption rate is in the red. The blue is the month of supply. The month of supply in blue line is tracking upward to 2.99 months. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the center of this graphic, we'll take just a bonus moment here, and you're going to see the blue line really right across the page from June of 2000 to essentially May of 2022. It's hovering right around 1 month of inventory, and we experienced that for about 18, 19 months. Ladies and gentlemen, we referred to that as a speed-based market. Multiple offers, escalation clauses, money going hard, shortened inspection, no inspection. Speed-based market, transactional-based market. As we slide out into June of 22 to current day, where the blue line is fluctuating with month of supply, we're going to describe that as a relation-based market, and that there's negotiation and strategy happening all the time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is one time to be very relational in your business in terms of a listing agent and a buyer agent, and that is going to give you an edge moving forward. Next slide, please. So as we look at all of Pinal County and Maricopa County combined, just so you know, that if you go back 1 year from now to October of 2022, our sale prices per square foot are up 1% from where they were a full year ago. That our active listings in the blue circle are down 29, almost 30%. Our month supply is down just about 20% to 3.1 months. And our days on market are down 21% in purple, down to just 36 days. That's all of Maricopa and Pinal County aggregated together. But our two markets are quite a bit different. So as we aggregate up, Sarah, the next slide, this tells a little bit better story. So on the far left in the circle dots is Maricopa County, and Maricopa County is up 1.6% from where it was a year ago. And our median sale price is $269.84, up from $265 a year ago. That is Maricopa County. On the right is Pinal County, and it's down 2.4% from where it was a year ago. And its median sale price is $199 a square foot. Almost all the time I spend is in Maricopa County as a bellwether. There's a lot of growth in the far Southeast Valley, and Casa Grande catches in here as well, town of Maricopa. But the lion's share of this is Maricopa County. When you go outside of Maricopa County and you look at all the numbers in MLS, it does, of course, pick up Pinal County, but it also picks up listings that are in Mexico and Tucson and the White Mountains, and anybody else who sends their listing to Arizona Regional MLS for the exposure. So to me, the bellwether is Maricopa County. Next, please. As we look at this, just spend a little bit of time here, and then we'll transition into the numbers. So our under contract is currently 4,932, and technically that's up just under 1% from where it was a month ago. The second row with the blue numbers, new listings, 6,529. Please know that that's up 6.5% from where it was a year ago. It's up 23% from where it was 3 months ago. It's up 8% from 6 months ago, but a year ago, it's actually down. We're down from where we were this time a year ago. The other thing in here is in this graph, and again, our sold units are down to 3,723 for the month. It's down 11% from where we were a month ago. Ladies and gentlemen, new builds play a role at 10%. Right at a year and a half ago, it was normal to see 20% of our inventory be flipped. Currently in Maricopa County, it's only 6.2%. That is that graph here of how we look at things, and tells a very good story. Next, please. Okay, so as we look at active listings moving forward, following the blue line out to the far right, our active listings continue to climb up the last 4 months at 11,132. That's active listings, Maricopa County. Next. As we look at under contract, technically we're about where we were this time last month at 4,932, and that seems to be holding pretty smoothly. If we were going to have any bump, we would have already been experiencing it. It's a little bit on the low side. Next. Closed listings. You see the downward trend here. This is a long-term effect on interest rates in our market, war, politics. You can throw all those things into the queue. But our sold listings do continue to dwindle down the last 4 months to 3,723. Next. New listings, slight climb, or at least mid 7,000 every month that are coming on board. That's why I did share the no man's land primitive graph earlier that we've been running. If you want to go back, with the exception of July, if you want to go back 6+ months, we've been running about 7,000 new listings every month. And there's a percent of them that are expiring, canceling, or temporarily off market. Running about 60% of our monthly inventory is doing that, compared to 60% compared to our solds. Let me qualify that. But again, if you had a home and you priced it and said, well, when these 3 that are below me sell, then I'll be the lowest price home in the area. Boy, those new listings are coming in at a pretty consistent rate at almost 7,000 a month. And they're going to, chances are, price just a little bit below yours and just keep you in no man's land and or out of the market. Next. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for Apache Junction. And I believe now we're at 25 or 26 cities where we do just a quick graph back and forth. And Sarah, before we start flying through those, I'm going to take this minute and read today's James Clear message quote that I just love, and it seems to be effective right here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of a great change in our market and our industry. And James Clear picked up this quote that says, in times of change, learners will inherit the earth. while the learned find themselves equipped to deal with the world that no longer exists. In times of change, learners will inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves equipped to deal with the world that no longer exists. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great time to be learning based and be just curious, and those that are will continue to thrive. As we look at Apache Junction, ladies and gentlemen, please know in the yellow, it's up 6.5% from where it was this time a year ago, and active listings are up 8.2. When we go to the next slide, Sarah, has a little bit of flip and a little bit of new build going on there. When you look at under contract in blue at 100 and new listings 117, that's a pretty robust community. A lot of growth happening in Apache Junction, a lot of growth happening there. New things are coming there and to Queen Creek. And it's a vibrant market right now. Next. Avondale. Avondale's up just 1% from where it was a year ago. 36% actives are down. Next slide. And they too, under contract at 85, new listings 110. Here in Avondale on the west side, a lot of new builds, 15.5%. And the balance of this report, ladies and gentlemen, will go through the 20-some cities with 2 slides. The circle graph talking about active listings, median sale price, days on market. To me, that's something that if you wanted to sit down with your buyer or seller, it's a very easy graph to explain, as well as if they want to get atomic level with page 2. Again, active, under contract, sold, new listings, and average days on market. And then going back 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and a year, it tells a great story in just 2 quick graphs per city. So Sarah, as you fire through that, please know that it's always a pleasure to spend time every month doing this report for the people out there in Zoom land. Look for change, look for a lot of information coming out of NAR that is cautious in their message. Because there's 2 more class action lawsuits that are now chomping at the bit, wanting to go to trial and get settlements equal, if not more than what's already been in play. Leadership is going to change at NAR. It's going to have an impact on our local associations. It's going to have an impact on our MLSs. It's going to have an impact from big companies coming into our world. It's going to be times of change. So be ready to learn and have that be part of your mindset. Landmark Title always does a great job. I know my business partner had 4 go through Landmark last month, and everything was smooth and easy. They always do a great job. So can't thank you enough, Sarah and your team. Enjoy the day. Happy November. Happy holidays and going into Thanksgiving. We'll see each other in the early December timeframe with an update from NAR, because I will be attending the NAR event in Anaheim here in a couple weeks, and I'll give you all information I can moving forward. Thanks, everybody. Have a good impact.
Thank you for watching. Please join us every month on Market Insights, where you could stay informed for you and your clients.